This is radio you never heard before. Elegbete TV Radio, the best in entertainment and sports. Let's go! And that's all, folks. It's Elegbete TV Radio. Social media at Elegbete TV Radio. My name is Frank Idemudia Alapa. That's my name. Talking sports is my game, and I am the greatest. I love listening to Elegbete TV Radio for undiluted, unadulterated. It's probably replicated, but still not yet duplicated. It's sports only on Elegbete TV Radio. I seriously love listening to it.
Hello, everybody. What's up, people? My name is Timmy Dakolo, and you're listening to Elegbete TV Radio. Stay tuned.
Yeah, they say that when these two teams play, the winner eventually always go on to win the Champions League in the last couple of seasons. Will that happen this time? I don't know, but one thing for sure is that it is going to be a battle called the Ballon de Grudge. Yes, there is so much grudge here. Man City are planning to embarrass Real Madrid before kickoff. But what would happen at the end of the final whistle is what is most important in the space of that 90 minutes. What happened in the game is what more value to either of these two struggling teams. When you're big because big teams struggle even if they are on top of the league. Manchester City are not on top of the league, but their position in the league today is a position that Manchester United will gladly embrace and hold on to if they have it. But unfortunately, they don't have it. But then, Man City is seen as a struggling team. Real Madrid, on the other hand, the team that have crooked their ways and bulldozed their way to winning more Champions League than some clubs have league titles, like Man City, are also seen as a struggling team this season because in the usual way, they are expected to be at the pinnacle of, they are not supposed to be playing tonight. Even Man City are not expected to be playing tonight. Just 2 seasons ago, they won the treble. They were the team to beat. They were the love, the doyen, the darling of every team in the UEFA Champions League. Across Europe, everybody wants to be like Man City or Real Madrid. Real Madrid currently sit top of the Spanish La Liga, but that, even by their own ubiquitous high standard, is not good enough. You know why? They are Real Madrid. Everybody expects excellence on a continuous basis from them. Well, today it is also going to be a battle of the French team as the Parisian will go and try to squeeze breast and see if they can get milk or juice or blood or water out of breast, because there's going to be a lot of smooshing and sucking and kissing and romancing. Oh my God, there's going to be a whole lot because the Parisian are coming from the city of love. Paris, they say, is the city of love. As a matter of fact, they used to say, see Paris and die, or see Paris and fall in love. But then it's not only going to end there. The club that Ruben Amorim brought out of doldrum and sent them to the very top of the Portuguese league are playing today in the playoff against just a few seasons ago, 2 seasons ago, this team, last season or so, were in the Champions League final. Borussia Dortmund. They are not doing so well in the German Bundesliga as well. But who would forget 1997? Lars Rickens and the rest of the Dortmund team. Matthias Sammer was in that squad as well. If you remember that Champions League season, one of the sweetest match of the 1997 UEFA Champions League was Manchester United playing against Borussia Dortmund, and everybody said, this one that they won the first leg at home in Germany. What's it called? Borussia Dortmund are in for a disaster. They will be beating blue, black, and red. But guess what? We know what happened. Lars Rickens scored that only goal, and that was all she wrote, because that team was built on the solidity of a wonderful defensive team. Matthias Sammer was playing as a deep line midfielder, and he handled it. But then they found their way to the finals, and they beat almighty Juventus. The bookmakers predicted that this game would be won by Juventus, because Juventus have some quality players. Make no mistake about it. It was a wonderful one that you expect them to win, but that did not happen. Remember, Manchester United were in the same group with Juventus. So one way or the other, Manchester United played against the two teams that went to the finals in that competition. As it were, Manchester United and Juventus were first and second. Juventus came first and Manchester United came second. In the group where you have Borussia Dortmund in 1996-97 season, Atletico de Madrid came first on 13 points, same as Borussia Dortmund. But guess what? Borussia Dortmund went on to win it. That group also have what's the name now? Eddie Dombraye's club, Wisla Ploz, and then Star Bucharest of Romania. But then in the group that have Juventus, Manchester United, you also have Fenerbahce. That season, Austin, JJ Okocha shone like a million star at Old Trafford. Yes, it says the theater of dream. Nobody goes there to win. But then Austin, JJ Okocha and his Fenerbahce teammate, they went there and they performed size and wonder. Austravian were the whipping boys of that group. Remember, Juventus came up top with 16 points and Manchester United came second with 9 points. They could have lost anyway, but that did not happen. Well, sometimes these things just happen the way you don't expect them to happen, and it is football. But well, that's not the one we're talking about. Let's talk about that Borussia Dortmund team. When you look at those players now and you compare them to the current players, you ask yourself, where did it all go wrong? Yeah, they had the Switzerland player, Schappersat. Yes, Stefan Schappersat. Rideau was in that squad as well. And you have Thomas Muller, not this one. There you have another Muller there. You have Muller. And then the Portuguese wonder player, defensive midfielder who could go forward and come back. He could defend, he could pick a pass, he could do everything. Paulo Sousa was in that squad, and you have Lambert in that squad. But then there was Rauter, Kohler, Matthias Sammer, who was playing as the metronome deep line midfielder. The three at the back that they had, it was everything. He was playing as a central defensive player, but he was also jumping into midfield when they have the ball and they were going forward. There was Erich in that squad, and then there was Kriel. In goal was Klose, and it was Stefan Klose who made the difference for them. But then there was a whole lot you look at and you ask yourself, how did that team change from what they used to be? Andres Muller was another wonderful guy. Then the Paul Lambert, you remember the Scottish man who was fantastic, became a manager, but before he became a manager, he won the Champions League with Borussia Dortmund. In that bench, they have Lars Rickens, the destroyer of Manchester United. Wonderful guy. He's a German footballer. He's currently he's the managing director of Borussia Dortmund anyway, but at that time he was good. Then there was Michael Zorc, the German guy with the very funny, clean, well-permed hair back in the day. René Trashart was also there, the German guy. And this was the era where you had maybe just 2 or 3 foreign professionals in the team. Borussia Dortmund have always had their own. You have German players in their team, but then you have the Italian team, Juventus, that have Angelo Peruzzi, the goalkeeper with the big hand. Angelo Peruzzi back in the day. He's a coach now, but the former goalkeeper is not a coach, but back in the day he was the man. They have Sergio Porini, and they also had players like Ciro Ferreira, Paulo Montero the Uruguayan. Yeah, Paulo Montero is a Uruguayan guy. Mark Luciano, Didier Deschamps, who was the French coach, World Cup winning coach in 2018. Angelo Di Livio. Some of you don't know this name that I mentioned in any way. Vladimir Jugovic was in that team as well. And then you have the tall, big Italian man, the giant, the Italian beast, who looked more like an Australian than an Italian. Yes, that was Christian Vieri. Zinedine Zidane was in that squad. Alan Boxic was in that squad as well. And on the bench of that team, you have Michelangelo Rampula. Yeah, it was there. Gianluca Pesotto, Alessio Tacchinardi, Alejandro De Perio, Nicola Amoruso, and who was the coach? Marcello Lippi. Yes, a World Cup winning coach of 2006. That was a very good one. In case you forgot, the coach of the German Bundesliga team was Ottmar Hitzfeld. Okay, one wonderful coach, fantastic human being that you have. I'm just taking you guys down memory lane and telling you that some people have won this competition before and they won it playing very, very well. Well, the fixtures for today, Brest will host Paris Saint-Germain. It's going to be 6:45. Manchester United in Champions League. What is wrong? Manchester City, Real Madrid, 9 o'clock. Juventus, Paris Saint-Germain. PSV. It's going to be 9 o'clock as well. And then Sporting versus Borussia Dortmund. We would have that by 9 o'clock. So one early kickoff. Two French team, Gambarik by Fulani, are the same people. Okay, they are going to battle themselves. Well, my name is Daphne Matches. You'll have to come in there better on the Sports. This is the Sports Buffet 2025, new format. You guys run the show. I'm just here to answer your question. You put me a lot of questions, we'll have a long time for the show. If you put just few questions, the show come very short, 2 minutes. Noodles and we are all gone. But then it's up to you. I want to say massive thank you to all of you guys yesterday for making the show sweet, beautiful. Seems like you took a cue from my mind because I didn't even mention it, but that's exactly the way I want it. I want to do a lot of analysis this year, and I'm going to be banking on you guys to throw up the right questions, the need for us, to change it a little bit, switch it a little bit, and do it differently. Well, there is a little bit of battle brewing. The All Blacks, the New Zealand rugby team, they are saying that Ineos promised them sponsorship, but they've not paid the money, so they are going to go to court. Yes, it's about 25 million. That's the first installment for 2025, and that money have not come. So they are going to say, let's meet in court. See you in court, like a Nigeria election. So they are going to court and they are going to decide. Well, the FA Cup 5th draw, Manchester United and Newcastle both first home ties against Premier League rivals, while Liverpool, the conquerors of Liverpool, Plymouth Argyle, traveled to Manchester City. Will they be able to conquer them? Well, time will tell. You never can say. It's the FA Cup. Even though it looks like the value of the FA Cup have dropped, no TV showing, even people who have the broadcast rights refuse to show it. Sounds like it's a Nigerian thing, but that's what happened in England. Well, I don't know whether you are driving in the traffic of Lagos or you are going through anywhere across the world, or you're driving in the M20 or M25, A10 in the UK. Man, how do you people drive in that M25 and A10 slow motion? Come on. Preston North End for the draw. Preston North End will play against Burnley. Burnley who won their game 1-0. Aston Villa, who are conquerors of Tottenham Hotspur, seems like they have a fixture that they can win. They're going to play against the Wales team, Cardiff City, and let's hope that they win that one and continue. Crystal Palace will play against Millwall. Look winnable for Crystal Palace if they come to the party. Manchester United will play against Fulham. So, winnable for Fulham, even though Manchester United are playing at the Leaky Roof, Old Trafford. Newcastle will be hosting Brighton. This game is going to be tight. And Bournemouth are going to be playing against Wolves. Manchester City, Plymouth, Exeter or Nottingham Forest who play tonight versus Ipswich. So whoever wins between Exeter and Nottingham Forest, I think Nottingham Forest will do themselves a favor by continuing to win, because Ipswich look winnable in the next game. But then you put your eyes on the ball, focus on the game that is coming up tonight. For those of you who are asking when will this game be played, well, the ties will be played across a 5-day period from February 28th to March 3rd. So keep your eyes peeled, keep your ears peeled. We'll be here to talk about it. If you have anything for us to talk about, this is the time to get the ball rolling and let's push it as best as we can. Well, there are some other talking points. The Champions League will obviously be a major conversation on. Manchester City playing against Real Madrid. You know that the winner of this game have always gone on to produce the winner of the Champions League in the last 3 or 4 seasons, and they keep meeting. Okay, so let's see what happened. Arsenal fans are happy because Bukayo Saka is back in training. Quite a while, but we don't know if he's good to rush him back now, but he's back in training and they're having a hot weather feeling in Dubai and drinking a little bit of that Abibi voodoo that got them a rush last season to make them think that they'll win it. Maybe it's coming too late, I don't know. That's a good thing. That's the advantage of qualifying in the top 8 of the UEFA Champions League. That gives them an edge to go and have that hot weather, warm weather training in Dubai. Would that eventually turn the season for them? I don't know. I don't know if that will happen. But then Tottenham Hotspur, as shit as they are continuing their shit. Manchester United agreed to offload £307,000 a week flop for the rest of the season, despite transfer window having closed a week ago. Who is that player? I don't know. Yes, Pep Guardiola knows they can't stop Real Madrid Fab 4 in the Champions League playoffs. So Man City, all they need to do is go out there and score as many as you can, because if it is the defense of Man City versus the attack of Real Madrid, it's a no-brainer. We know where we put our smart money on. But then, whatever happens, I really don't care. I'm going to sit back, enjoy a beautiful game. After I get the Brest versus Paris Saint-Germain out of the way, squeezing up breasts and smooshing and romancing and kissing out of the way, I'm going to sit down and watch these two teams play against each other and watch how Pep Guardiola can try and outsmart the Italian cigar smoker Carlo Ancelotti, and see how that defenseless Man City can handle that front line of Real Madrid. It does look good. Real Madrid, if you think that they started this Champions League looking like a team that is dead and buried, now they might beat Manchester City over 2 legs and then go on to become a team that everybody will be afraid to want to play against. Life here there, as my Congolese brothers will say, but life is life. Let's kick it going. Let's get the party started. And let's come to you. Marcus Rashford seems to have seems to think that Marcus Rashford is playing with a renewed vigor. He's a different player, but I've seen this before. Marcus Rashford Villa to try to prove a points that you could have proved with Manchester United. Are you happy that Manchester United is where they are? You didn't play football. You didn't do well. You go to nightclub. Now he's coming out, using pauses to say all the stories about him are 20% true, 80% lies. Well, it is up to you to prove it. We know footballers on the field. It is on the field that footballers are known. For those of you who are wondering, well, there's a very big scar, yes, on the right thigh of Bukayo Saka for the surgery that I went through. Eventually, for those who are worried, eventually that thing will be smoothed out with laser. But for now, let's allow it to heal first. So a lot of people are like, why is that scar so big, like the scar on my face? Well, laser will smoothen it out. You would see it now, but very soon you will not see it again. That's the way these things are done now. Technology have gone so far. Every time I show my wife that, look, I have 24 screw, 2 rod and 2 metal plates in my knee. She's like, wow, how did they do it that there's not much scar? So, well, Oyibo magic. That's all I can say. Oyibo magic. It was a whole lot of technology, laser, but going back and forth, scrapping, boiling. It was tough, but hey, we survived. Well, let me come out to you guys since I'm out of the news. Let's look at some of the details of the teams that are going to play today. Let's start with Brest versus Paris Saint-Germain. Paris Saint-Germain is the only club that lives in a city where they are the only team. Until recently, when you now have Paris FC, they're the only team in European football that is not sharing a city with any club. So, understandably, in their league, they don't have a local rival. That seems to be like a very little advantage. Sort of an advantage for them, but that might change pretty soon. So let me give you some tidbits, some updates. Roy on Brest, 40-year wait for a Paris win. So for 40 years, Brest. Excuse me, guys. Brest have not won. So this is how he sees it. He said it's a formidable challenge. Players can get caught in a game of breaking record and ending streaks. If you can do it against Paris, then great. just because there are negative stats, we are not beaten in advance. Okay, in other words, just because there are a lot of negative stats that we've never beaten Paris Saint-Germain in 40 years does not mean that we've already lost this game. We will go there knowing that we want to win this one. After all, we're playing at home. Eric Roy, the coach of Brest, is the one that said, I said we launched the Mission Impossible project 2 days ago. We saw that Tom Cruise was in Paris. So we won't be able to count on him. The gap between PSG and us is very important, okay? But when they start saying all this type of thing, they have a bad plan. But then you have one guy who is no respecter of anybody, Musa Ousmane Dembele. Yeah. Finally, from Eric Luis Enrique, that's his name. He say on the farm of Ousmane Dembele, he said, I've always been a defender of players with technical quality like Ousmane. Right, we have been delighted with his movement and his ability to finish with one touch. But I also want us to think about the players who's giving him assists. It is a great thing to be part of such a team and coordinate these qualities together. One of the things that I can say is that as a coach, you want a quick trophy, go and coach Paris Saint-Germain first. You will have trophy in your cabinet like, I've coached this team a few league title. And Luis Enrique continues to say, on the 5-2 victory over Brest in the league, we can improve in every sector of the game and especially our defense. We always had the feeling that we could score, but they can score quickly too. It's easy for Brest to create danger. So we're not going to sit down here and start thinking we are the only one. Luis Enrique continues to say, every match we played against Brest, home and away, is difficult. They are good defensively and offensively. We and at winning second best. However, the Champions League is an important competition for us. We have to win. There is no other option. That's the focus. So, statement made. Tell you what we want to achieve in this game. If you like, come and play. If you like, don't come and play. Finally, somebody from the team, Mendes, on January signing, Cava, Kacha, or whatever, Farastella. He says he's a good player. I tried to do my best to help him on the pitch. He's a very good one-on-one player. He beat like Bradley Bacola, who is also very offensive and good on one-on-one on duels. And Mendes continues. He said, on Marquinhos, approaching a century of Champions League appearance, is our captain. It's a source of pride to play with him. I'm happy to play with him. It is a dream to play a lot of matches in the Champions League. I'm happy for him, and we are going to try to give him a nice present tomorrow, which is tonight. Well, we will see. Nuno Mendes is a defender for Paris Saint-Germain, in case you're wondering who Nuno Mendes is. On the recent victory over Brest in Ligue 1, he said, I don't know if it's weird, but we don't think about that. If they are here, it's because they have qualities. We focus on the match. It's the Champions League. The mentality can change a little. Wow, that's a very good one. Let's hope that this evening, not tonight, this evening they will give us an exciting game to watch and we will all be happy. Let's not forget that whoever wins in this game, they have FC Barcelona waiting for them in the next round after they have played both legs. Okay, so this game, whoever wins is going to face FC Barcelona. So there is still, few games to go, but the way it goes, these two teams will play against each other, and then there is Monaco versus Benfica, the journey long. Anyhow you want to look at it. But then let's look at the Manchester City versus Real Madrid. Let's not forget that there is a certain Atletico de Madrid that is waiting somewhere after this battle. So there is a whole lot coming in this line of fixtures. But then I want to get your take. What are your expectations for tonight's game? Who do you think is going to win of the lot of the matches that we have lined up? The Brest versus Paris Saint-Germain, Juventus versus PSV, Manchester City versus Real Madrid, Sporting versus Borussia Dortmund. Make your correct and very accurate predictions, and let's see. I don't have any gift for anybody, but just let's do it for the fun of it. Having said that, let's get back to you guys, okay? Like I always say, you can always support this channel. The best way to support this channel is to get more people to subscribe. I know that we need money, and we don't turn down money. But you see, more people subscribing and more people getting to join this show and watch our other content is the greatest gift anybody can do for us. So tell your friends and tell their friends, even their enemies, you can come on this channel and settle whatever dispute that you people have. Having said that, let's get down to your comment, what you guys have got to say, your opinions, your views. Precious anyone was the first to comment as early as 8:41 a.m. even before the start of the show. You say, good morning, boss. This intro video is pleasing to watch. Thank you very much. These are people who come in before the show starts. Ibrahim Adewale, you say, good morning from the Croc City of Kaduna. This intro video is cool. Yes, thank you very much. We would continue to put it there since I've come to find out that you people love it. That's what we will be having every time. But then by the start of the show, 9:01 a.m., Kenny P, our man who's make it easy for those of us who are interested in watching the best content, who have good internet, to watch IPTV. This is the guy to go to. If you have good internet wherever you live, I think you need IPTV. And your plug is Kenny P. Kenny P is also the guy who, hooked me up with a massive audio book library. Very, very massive. I'm a book person, you know that already, so I love books a lot. My addiction. So somebody came to visit me on Sunday and he saw the pile of books that I have, and I was like, you have this much books? I said, yes, book is my alcohol, since I don't drink alcohol. I said, really? I said, yeah. So, you don't drink? I said, you don't really you look like you drink. I said, I don't. You don't smoke too? I don't smoke. Really? I've always thought that you drink and smoke. I said, okay, thank you very much for your tortoise. Well done. Canopy, he said, welcome back, bro. I've missed the show. I've missed you people. I've missed this show. You know how much I miss my microphone. I've missed my microphone. Kari, he say, Assalamu alaikum from Qatar. Oh, you don't go back. So you never tell me, say, what did they worry you, say, this Kari? I don't beat you. Come worry, spend 1 full month. You never say, okay, man, come Lagos, spend like 2 days. Okay, I think you passed to Abuja. You travel to Abuja, I guess. Everyone will say, the show is back. Let's make the best of it. Yes, Kari will say, welcome back. I missed this program. Kalija Ibrahim say, which teams do you think have the best chance of making it through the playoff this season? So Paris Saint-Germain, Brest, there is that 40 years record that is hanging there. But Brest have shown that in the Champions League, they're a different proposition. But then I think that Paris Saint-Germain, the Qatari investment in Paris Saint-Germain is not for them to win the league. Winning the league is good, but they would also like to have one Champions League at least, like they have at Manchester City. And to think that they've actually spent more money than even the owners of Man City in investment, they would love to. And they tried with Mbappe, with Neymar, with Messi, a lot of people. Cavani, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, they've tried. They've come close. They lost in the finals 1-0 to Bayern Munich. But at the end of the day, you see, you can only play who's in front of you, and I think this is a great opportunity for them to get past their it's not a rival, but their league mates, Brest. So the temptation of the Brest, the seduction, the act of seduction by the Brest will end today, because after this game, the standing Brest will collapse. That's my belief. So I think Paris Saint-Germain will go through. Juventus have not done well in the area of scoring goals. So and PSV is a very robust team. The way they play, the way they move, their transition, sometimes they could be surprising to you. But then Juventus hardly lose games. So over 2 legs, I think that Juventus would manage to scrape through in this one. Now, this other one is very difficult to call. Manchester City, not in their very best element. And for Pep Guardiola, he only plays well when his team is in their best element. There is no tactical maneuvering. There is no, let's sit back, let's soak up the pressure and attack. There's only one way Pep Guardiola plays, and if he goes out there to play that way against Real Madrid have a very serious grudge for this game. Not that it means anything, not that Man City is a rival to them, but to beat them because of the Ballon d'Or grudge makes this one special. And then again, like I've always said, and I'll continue to say, Real Madrid represent that thing I talk about, billionaires. They're never wrong. Real Madrid is not a team you want to wake up and bet against, because if you bet against Real Madrid in the Champions League, you're pretty much betting against not just football, not just quality players, but also you're betting against possible match fixing and politicking and a whole lot. And the fact that the second leg will be played in Madrid means that for me, I've already written Man City off. Man City out in this one, so Real Madrid goes through. Sporting and Borussia Dortmund. I saw Sporting play against Arsenal. I saw Sporting play quite a few other games. They are not the team that they used to be under Ruben Amorim. This team is returning back to default setting of what they used to be before Ruben Amorim came in. And Borussia Dortmund on the Champions League night, they can be a different team. They can call on the spirit of 1997, the spirit of Andres Mola, the spirit of those players who made it happen for them in 1997, and they can just wake up the magic of Paulo Sousa, Las Rikins, and the rest of them, and turn this tire in its head. So for me, I'm going to put my smart money on Borussia Dortmund, Real Madrid, Juventus, and Paris Saint-Germain qualifying over 2 legs. And then tomorrow, there are also a few UEFA Champions League playoff that will go on, and the game between Club Brugge versus Atalanta, I think over 2 legs, Atalanta will win that one. There's also story that Juventus are looking to, break the bank to get Ademola Lookman. I don't know, maybe it's going to be another conversation for another day, but probably you can chime in. You think that Juventus is a place for him to go? For me, I think Juventus are rebuilding again to an all-conquering run. If Ademola Lookman, remember he had played in England before, really didn't cut it. I don't know if any club in England will look for him right now, but then there are not too many big clubs that are also doing well. If the opportunity comes with Juventus, I think they are building up gradually. Defensively, they are becoming a lot more solid. They just need to fix the attack. They are building up to that team that will conquer for like 5 or 10 seasons. If Ademola Lookman gets the chance to go to Juventus, I would say he should go. Maybe he might not win the Champions League because Juventus seems to have a Champions League course. They've lost more finals like Arsenal, like Nigeria in the AFCON, lost more finals of the Champions League than any other team in the history of the competition, but then they still have 2 titles to their name. Well, you have Celtic playing against Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich have been banned from this season's UEFA Champions League from using their red jersey because the red and black combination. Let's not forget that officially the club color is red and white, but this season they decided to put black as the color for their numbers and their names. And UEFA says that the color is too dim, it's not clear enough. So if you notice this season, Bayern Munich have not been wearing their red. They will not wear their red jersey against Celtic tomorrow. They will not also wear it in the home game unless something changed. But for now, that has been banned. Well, I think the Bayern over 2 legs, if I said Celtic, they would win. It would be too much for Brendan Rodgers' team. Feyenoord AC Milan, this game is a 50-50 game. If AC Milan comes to the party, Rafael Leao, and everybody comes to the party, they would win. But then, there are some days where AC Milan can just choose to embarrass you and make you look stupid. Now, the game that is very, very difficult to call is the Monaco-Benfica. Over 2 legs, I think Benfica might go through. I didn't say they will go through. Might go through. But then again, it's so 50-50 that it is hard to call. That's why I say it. So, for this one, I put Monaco-Benfica 50-50. AC Milan, Bayern, and Atalanta to go through. Alongside the previous ones for tonight that I've mentioned, which are Paris Saint-Germain, Juventus, Real Madrid, and Borussia Dortmund. I might be wrong. I'm not asking you guys to go bet on it, but that's what I think as an answer to my brother Kalija Ibrahim Adewale. Well, let's move on to the next one. He said, are there any potential dark horses that could surprise everyone? Yes, there are dark horses in this competition that could surprise everyone. But your definition of everyone, what do you mean? Like going all the way to win the tournament? Well, the way the competition is, we're not moving back to the Champions League the way we used to know it. So we're going back to the home and away basis. Brest could surprise Paris Saint-Germain. There's a possibility that would happen. All this talk of 40 years, when they start giving you statistics before March, be careful. That's very, very dangerous. Another team that could surprise, if Man beat Real Madrid, it's not a surprise. Real Madrid beat Man City, it's not a surprise. But then Sporting could surprise Borussia Dortmund. Having said that, the real place where there are possible upset is in tomorrow. If Atalanta beat Club Brugge, it's not a surprise. Club Brugge beats Atalanta, it's not a surprise. But just wait a minute. Celtic, like Aston Villa, if they beat Bayern Munich or Muchin, whatever you choose to call them, and they knock them out of this competition, Vincent Kompany's job is gone. So he knows that already, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think that Bayern will win. Again, Harry Kane always scores against lesser known opposition. Celtic is a lesser known opposition if come to the Champions League. I don't know the last time Celtic got it past this round of the Champions League. So let's see. Even getting to this round of the Champions League is a miracle for Celtic. This is a territory that they're not used to. So that could be a surprise. Another surprise surprise could be Feyenoord knocking at AC Milan. That would be surprised. Benfica, Monaco, there's no surprise there. These are two teams that, on paper, even on the field of grass, they are both equal opposition. Those are the possible dark horses that will surprise us. After this round of two-legged match, then we can now look at the other teams, the last 16 teams, and then start doing our appraisal. But for now, that's the way I say it. Well, let's move on. Everybody will say the fight between City and Real Madrid cannot end this night. So they would both fight and run away to fight another night. But last, Madrid will win the fight. That's what I also think as well. Ibrahim Wale, Ibrahim Adewale says, Brest versus Paris Saint-Germain, on paper, this seems like a mismatch. Do you think Brest has any real chance of causing an upset? Real chance, a definition of real chance. What's the definition of real chance? Okay, by real chance, do you mean that there is a way that Brest would beat Paris Saint-Germain? When I look at the squad, the quality of players, I don't see the possibility of that happening. I wouldn't lie to you. I don't see the possibility of Brest, overturning. They could win one leg. But the thing with Monaco and Brest the Paris Saint-Germain and Brest playing is the fact that when they play, there is always a big margin in the scoreline in favor of Paris Saint-Germain. And Paris Saint-Germain, in their element, are a very, very difficult team to play against. I won't lie to you. When you look at the both of them playing head-to-head, last time it was 5-2. Then it was 3-1. It was 3-1. It was 2-2. That's like one of the best one that happened because they went to Paris to get a 2-2 draw. And then there's 3-2. Paris Saint-Germain went away to go get that one. It's always a huge game where minimum goals between these two teams is 4 goals. 4 minimum, like on the regular. We've seen 2-0, 2-1. We've seen 4-2. Quite a lot of score lines in the last 40 years. And the best that Brest has gotten has been a draw. How would that change overnight? I don't know. Maybe what Brest can do, the greatest upset they can do, is that they might win one game. And it might be the game tonight. They might win one game and then lose the other one. And on aggregate, Paris Saint-Germain will go through. Or probably they would save the best for last. Get a draw, or probably lose this game and go to Paris and get a draw. But over 2 leg, my brothers, okay, let me add my sisters, ladies and gentlemen, I do not see Brest causing enough temptation. Even if they come with the breast of Sheba, I think that Paris Saint-Germain will be too adventurous and they would conquer and penetrate whatever that temptation would be. They would resist the temptation, get through, and be devastating. That's all I think would happen in that game. Brest does not have any real chance of causing upset. But then, this is me talking. Whatever I say here will not play the game on the field. But this is based on evidence of the reality of the past 40 years. And when you have 40 years of data, pattern, style, that evidence is strong enough to send anybody to jail. Adegoke Obembe says, happy to have the show back. Thank you very much for your support from the very beginning. How your brilliant kids, as a family. What's up? How's Leicester and everything over there? Henry Morris, bros, you always say Arsenal goes to Dubai, they can be revitalized to do great. Can you say this now, looking at the injury crisis in the team? I think that for every season, a little break re-energizes your team. And when you look at the fixtures that Liverpool's got, they are not as easy as we're thinking. Let me draw out the fixtures that Liverpool's got, and I also take time to draw out the fixtures that Arsenal's got. The good thing is that both of them are, the only cup that Liverpool is in is the finals of the Carabao Cup, which they will play the finals. Then after that, they are both even Stevens in terms of how do I call it now? They are both even Stevens in terms of fixtures pile up. Okay, they'll play in Champions League. They will play in the league. and see how it goes. But let me look at Liverpool's fixtures for the next couple of games, and we use that as a measure. Okay, their match schedule is not really a smooth save for them. They lost to Plymouth Argyle 1-0, and then their next game is going to be local derby. Tomorrow they're playing that local derby against Everton. That's the outstanding game. They are 6 points ahead of Arsenal. This game could go to 9 points. It doesn't look like Everton have anything in them to stop Liverpool. The good thing is the senior players in Liverpool rested for the Plymouth game, so there is a whole week, a whole long period after the bashing of Spurs 4-0 on Thursday, 6th of February to now. So we look at the game and say to ourselves that Liverpool is fully rested and they could play Everton and get something out of it. Then after Liverpool is Wolves looks like an easy game. Then they get to that tough game on the 19th of February after Valentine. They get to that tough game against Aston Villa. They go into Villa Park. Can they win there? I don't know. Okay. After that, they travel straight again to Manchester on the 23rd. That's about 4 or 5 days after the Aston Villa game. That's going to be a very heavy game, tough game. And then they go to City to go play against City. It's not going to be as easy as we think. Okay. There is, sorry guys, somebody's trying so hard to distract me. Let me shut them down before it becomes a problem, right? Yeah, so they will play Aston Villa, City, and then Newcastle. Hold on for it. You see these 3 games. These are potential banana peels for Liverpool. Very, very possible banana peels for Liverpool. And when I say possible banana peels, I don't think that Liverpool would run over Aston Villa, Man City, and Newcastle. Even though they're playing Newcastle at home, I don't think, this is me, I don't think they would outrun those 3 teams. But if they win, if by the 28th of February, Liverpool have not lost a single game in this last pile of games that they are going to play, I would personally take the title and give it to Liverpool and say the Premier League title is done. Okay? And I'm just also thinking, this is me thinking, they will win the Carabao Cup, and as well they will not they win the league, because after that the next set of games that they have, Liverpool kind of like have a pot of three dangerous games. Every corner they find themselves, there is a pot of 3 dangerous games. And I'm sorry guys, I'm a little bit distracted. Look at the game. They'll play Everton again. After Everton, they'll play Fulham, which could be banana peels. But then there is a pot of 3 difficult games. There is West Ham, Leicester. After that, immediately they'll play Tottenham Hotspur, they'll play Chelsea, they'll play Arsenal, and then Brighton and Crystal Palace. It doesn't look like it's supposed to be tough for them, but those are games that could define the season. You know, the good thing is Arsenal knows that if the game comes down to the Anfield battle, it might not work for them. So they will have to pray that teams like Chelsea, teams like Tottenham Hotspur, but Tottenham Hotspur will sell their match to Liverpool. I bet you for free. They will sell it. They've done it before. They've done it with Manchester United. They've done it with Manchester City. They've done it with Chelsea. They will do it. So that's not even a conversation. But Arsenal should be praying that Aston Villa, Newcastle, Man City, Chelsea, and they themselves will do themselves a favor by winning Liverpool. But all that said, Arsenal should also win their matches, because it's also not as easy as we are looking at it. It's also very, very tough for Arsenal. Let's check up, let's draw up Arsenal's fixtures and see what type of arrangement, because fixtures are fixtures, but then it is the arrangement that really defines how things go. Arsenal will play on Saturday. Arsenal will play against Leicester. It does look like a winnable game. That does look like a winnable game. Immediately after Leicester, they play against Aston Villa, and then after Aston Villa, they play against Nottingham Forest. That's a very tough one. Then Manchester United, another very tough game. Then Chelsea. So Arsenal have a pile of 3 tough games as well. Forest, United, and Chelsea. And before you people go and be saying United is not a tough opposition, let me remind you, just in case you've forgotten, that Manchester United, as bad as they were, knocked Arsenal out of the FA Cup. Okay, so this Dubai retreat that they've gone might give them a breath of fresh air, and then will come in again and find a way to score loads of goals, because that's the one thing they need to just prove a point. Arteta needs his team scoring a lot of goals. Is the title race done and dusted? No, I don't think the title race is over. There is still many twists and turns. After those 3 games, the next most difficult run of games are probably Arsenal's last 2 games before the final games. They play against Liverpool. They play against what's it called? They play against Newcastle. So those 2 games might just be the title decider eventually, because I think that Liverpool will drop points to a point where they will not need to. How do you call it now? They will not need to say against Arsenal and Anfield they must win. If Arsenal lose that game, Shoulders will be down. Let's say hypothetically they are on the same point, and then Arsenal goes to Liverpool and lose, and then they are hoping that Liverpool, they will beat Newcastle at home, while Liverpool goes away and drop points. For instance, the Newcastle game takes another interest, but we will see how it goes, because again in football it's not all done and dusted, it's not all done and sorted, it's not Yinka Sports. There's a whole lot of twist and turn. That's the way I see it, guys. Let me sort out what is going on here with these dispatch people that are trying to get my attention, and so that I can move on with my show, because it's obvious that they will keep calling, and I don't want much of the distraction to continue. Oh, okay. Hold on. Yeah, you're sorted. Yeah, so I hope I've answered your question, Henry Maru, so that we have peace on that front. Olafat says, good morning, boss. Good morning to you. Good to be on the show. Good to be on the morning show. What do you think about Amorim's performance so far? I don't think that there is anything wrong with Amorim, but from a footballer's perspective and from a coaching perspective, in my little experience and time as a coach, I think that my problem, so get it right, I don't think Amorim is a bad coach, but there is this new generation of coaches who think that as a coach, you should be stuck to your style of play. So if this is how you play, no Jupiter, no devil in hell should come and tell you how to coach or how to play your style. I think that is a problem. I studied the great coaches from Arrigo Sacchi to Fabio Capello, Marcello Lippi, Otmar Hitzfeld, Alberto Zaccaroni, Louis van Gaal, Johan Cruyff. Johan Cruyff also had the same type of stubbornness, and he's the only coach that I know in history that lost the Champions League finals by 4 goals to nothing to a Fabio Capello's upcoming AC Milan. Now, one of the things that I know is that my philosophy of coaching is that I have a system that I play, but the system have the offensive version and the defensive version. It also have room, not ambiguity now, but it has room for modification. And that's the right word. That's the right English word. Yeah, for modification. There's wiggle room for modification. Amorim does not have a wiggle room in his team. So you in his setup, you come into Manchester United. Manchester United does not have the type of players that allows you to play the type of football that you want to play. I think that as a coach, if I'm in his position, I would use the players that I have, play to their strength. Because again, coaching is about getting the best out of your team with the players that you have. So insisting. The only reason Man United can beat their chest and say, oh, no matter what happens, we're not going to go on relegation. But people don't understand the implication. They're not going to go on relegation because the team below them are as useless can be. Those teams come to the MPFL, they will also get relegated. If those teams are playing competitive football, they are competing, Man United will go down. But again, Manchester United fans who, like my friend Bobby, he is always right when it comes to Man United. I hardly argue with him these days because everything he has said has been true. You know me, I always say that I will put my argument on the ground. But once I see superior argument, I hold my hand up and I say, no, this person knows what he's saying, and I pull back. So for him, he's always been correct. But you see, when it comes to coaching and playing, I think that I will always stand on my argument. If you like, bring any argument. I will stand on my, you could know why. I would ask you, Oga, you play ball? No, you don't play ball, right? You don't coach before. You never coach. I have. On both sides of the divide I've been. I've even owned a club. And I'll tell you for free that not every opponent. We've seen Fabio Capello have a team that have attackers, a Real Madrid team that is known for attacking. As a matter of fact, there is evidence to it that in 1997, Fabio Capello came to coach Real Madrid, won the league title, and they sacked him immediately after. You know why? Because they said the team did not play attacking football. They were too defensive for their liking, even though that was a Real Madrid team that considered the least number of goals in a title-winning season. But they didn't like him. Fast forward 10 years later, in 2007, the era of the Galacticos. Again, they won the title, but it was sacked. Again, they said the team was too defensive. That team had Zidane, David Beckham, Roberto Carlos, had all the great players, right? But it was fired because it was ultra defensive. Now, fast forward to Fabio Capello. 2 seasons ago, Manchester City ran Real Madrid ragged. They ran them out of the park with their style of play, especially after a 1-1 draw in Spain. They came to the Etihad and it was 4-0 or 4-1 or so. Last season when they met, Fabio Capello said to himself, we're not going to go against these people. We're going to sit back. We're going to be conservative. We're going to be pragmatic. We're going to check our armor. We know how many bullets we have, how to use it, and when to use it. And that's how they got to the finals, and they won the Champions League. Remember very well. So when you are a Ruben Amorim, first off, you took a team that is dying. A dying team. It's not like this is a high-flying side. A dying team that is struggling. You have to come in and say to yourself, I need to modify that system that I play a little bit so that it can accommodate the players that I have now. And I know that if I want to last on this job, I need about 4 transfer windows. That's a January and a winter and a summer. So winter and summer, 4 of it to be able to assemble the team that I have and reassemble a new one. But unfortunately, look at where they are. Now, the problem with Man United that Ruben Amorim will face is, one, next season, when they go to the transfer market, they will be buying leftover players. They don't have the bargaining chip to tell a Victor Oyakores, for instance, come and play here. The only bargaining chip they have is that, his former coach is the coach of Manchester United. But then his agent will say, guy, you want to go play for a team that's not playing in the Champions League, not playing in Europe, not playing in any major European competition. Man, guy, you're not going anywhere. For those people who were saying, Man United will eventually win the FA Cup, we're waiting. I don't think that this Man United will win the FA Cup. And they don't win the FA Cup means they are out. So they win the European competition. Well, we'll wait and see. I'm not going to put that eggs in that basket right now because the other teams that are there are capable of knocking Manchester United out. Having said that, Ruben as a person, his ideology, his mindset is good. He just needs a little bit of wiggle room, a little bit of adjustment. Discipline is fine. Demanding high performance from this useless, weak Lilliputians players is fine. But you see, you have to also tweak. There's a book I bought. I always say this. I did not read the book, but the title of the book is good enough for me. I didn't read it before I got lost, and I couldn't find it again. The book is titled "She Stooped to Conquer." Sometimes you have to stoop. You have to bow down, go down low. Olamide that sang that song. First of all, go low. You have to go down low. You have to dobale to be able to get the wife that you're looking for. If not, you're not gonna marry a Yoruba woman who say, where I come from, man, they lie down for people. You're not gonna marry the woman. So you have to go down low. But Ruben Amorim is robotic. That in my way or the highway, it doesn't always work. It has cost a lot of coaches their job. Unfortunately, that's the only problem I have with Ruben Amorim. Other than that, I think he's a good coach. I watched him say, but that stubbornness, that small stubbornness might just be the one thing that knocks him off, a beautiful job. No matter how bad it is, Manchester United is still a big job. It's still a job that you can be proud of. It's still a job that you can tell your friends that I'm the manager at Manchester United, and everybody will be happy with you. Everybody will be smiling and say, yeah, you're doing a good job. But hey, we'll wait and see. Other fact says, what would you if you are in Arsenal shoes? Sell Saliba in the summer to Real Madrid for about 100 million plus, or keep him out, sell him? William Saliba is a good defender, but Arsenal can actually do without him. As good as he is, Arsenal have never sold a player above 50 million. If Real Madrid is bringing 100 million plus, just put yourself in that 100 plus. What would winning the FA Cup give us now? What would winning the League Cup give us now? What would winning the Premier League title give us now? If after all the spendings, after all the losses, they are able to sell William Saliba for 100 plus, it means that Arsenal have now put themselves in a conversation where anybody coming to price Arsenal player will price them up. If you look at all the other clubs that have sold academy player, Arsenal have been the one that have sold for cheap. Remember, Fabregas was sold for 35 million or so. You know, when you look at some of the players that Arsenal have sold and the quality that they have, Robin Van Persie 30 million, and you look at what other clubs are paid for some other players, you're like, wait a minute, how did that happen? Arsenal have not had the power to really negotiate proper deals for players. So if Real Madrid is coming with 100 million pounds in the summer and say, we want this guy, let him go. In this season, William Saliba have slowed down a little bit. His gained experience is not Virgil van Dijk. He's a good defender. I'm not going to rubbish him at any breath of my conversation. But then, is William Saliba better than Sokambe? No. Better than Anthony Adams? No. Better than Prime Martin Keown? I don't think so. And even Prime Colotori, he's got more finesse than Colotori, but defensively, I think I'll still pick Colotori over him. So if you have a chance to sell him for 100, anything in the region of 80, 90, 100 million, and anything that is added to it, flog the player straight up. That's what I would do. Additional Pharmacist, good morning. Great to have you back, boss. Thank you very much. So I don't miss you, Tyre. Thank you very much. Today, Man City, Real Madrid is a game to watch. Absolutely. Additional Pharmacist wanted to say, strange to have clubs from same country playing in the playoff. Brest, Paris Saint-Germain should not have happened. Well, the rules are the rules. These fixtures were set before. It's your job to make sure you don't fall into a place where the both of you will play against each other. The system have changed, where you're still calculating Champions League from what your mind used to be from the previous fixture, but that's a different one now. Precious Brill, my guy. He said, I don't even know what to expect from Manchester City versus Real Madrid. I am just going to sit and watch while it unfolds. That's a very good one. It's like a box of chocolate. You never know what you will get. But me, I know what I will get. That's why I don't touch it. Chocolate and my stomach, they don't mix. So chocolate and my stomach is like my bank account and the house in Banana Island currently. They don't mix. So when I'm passing through Banana Island, I don't get tempted to say, let's go and price the house. Because any amount I call and they say I pay, I'm not going to pay. And EFCC will come and arrest me. So the way my bank account is structured with Banana Island houses is just the same thing. I like them. I love them. They look beautiful. It's like Arsenal and Champions League trophy. That's so when a box of chocolate, I know what to expect. My stomach and chocolate don't go together. It's like my stomach, my esophagus, my liver, my kidney, my internal organ, and alcohol. Yeah, they don't mix. I know that. But you are from Delta, you man. You don't drink alcohol. Yes, there is always one or two that did not follow that baptism. I am one of them. I escaped it. I was raised in alcohol environment. I'm a Robo, grew up first beginning in the UK, London to be precise, alcohol headquarter, and then came to Benin, from Benin to Warri. My body, you know, follow. Even the smell, just the smell of people drinking alcohol, I don't decrease. You know, like my friend would say, but Support Musa would say, now we they smoke, now we they drink, now you they high. Because one day we went out and fight burst. And before you know, I don't bring bottle. I'm not ready to shoot like two people. That kind of I'm already high, so I don't need to go and put myself in the dare, according to people. Kalajaya Ibrahim Adewale say, Man City versus Real Madrid. How do you expect both teams to set up tactically? Will we see any surprises, information, or approach? I think that Carlo Ancelotti already knows what works, and he's sitting back and playing on the counter, and he knows that Manchester City are suspect at the back. The speed of Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo, and Kylian Mbappe will come to the party this time around. So I won't be surprised if he sets up a 4-3-3 and tell Jude Bellingham, don't go forward that much. You have to come back. If you go forward too much, I'll pull you out and I'll put somebody else who can stay in the midfield. For as long as that midfield area is compact, the four at the back are good. Rudiger does his job on Haaland, and then everybody is close. I mean, he must have watched that Arsenal game and say that, okay, you know what? Let them come out, but web your defense very well. And the way to web your defense very well, so I have that 4 at the back, and then I have 3 people in the midfield. I would be surprised if you play 3 defensive midfielder in that midfield, say to Rodrigo, Mbappe, and Vinicius, or probably put Rodrigo on the bench and then start with Bellingham out wide, and or probably play what's it called, Mbappe and Vinicius Junior out wide, asking them to interchange position, and then allow Jude Bellingham to zip in and zip out. So it becomes a 4-4-2 when they're defending, and then a 4-3-3 when they're attacking. That's the way I think. But for Pep Guardiola does not know how to change. It's just the same way. Yeah, guy go there, go and play. It's like Arsene Wenger. Another problem that I have with him. That's the same problem with Ruben Amorim. Go there and go and play the Pep way. Unfortunately, the Pep way is working right now because it does not have the materials. Okay, you cannot use a bulldozer to do the job that a Mantowo crane is supposed to do. That's the problem. So we will see how it goes. Shadi Bakpaya will say good morning, Legbetter. Good morning to you. I'm giving the match to Madrid, judging by the fact that Man City are not in a good run of form currently, and also Real Madrid are a team for the UEFA Champions League. I agree with you 100%. Even when Man City are in a good run of form, Real Madrid still find a way to outnumber them, outdo them. So it's not going to be easy for them. Ekene Ekonife says, finally, we are here again. Yes. Precious Brill, he says Celtic might be a tricky tie for Bayern. Over 2 leg is not going to be tricky. Maybe the leg in this one in Celtic, in Scotland, will be tricky, but in Germany, the goals will reach 5. Kalijaye Ibrahim Adewale say, if you had to put money on a final matchup today, which 2 teams would you choose? What do you mean by final matchup? Teams that will go make it to the finals from the fixtures of today that have the potential to go to the finals. There are quite a few teams in this competition, like Liverpool, that have the potential to go to the finals. But I mean, obviously, if you have a lineup like we have here, there is only one team that I can pick from here that will make it all the way to the finals. That's Real Madrid, because they are Real Madrid. Not because they are fantastic, but because they are Real Madrid. And we say they are not fantastic. Every other club in Europe today will take the position that Real Madrid currently have. They are on top of their league in Spain. They are in the Champions League. They can still wiggle their way through. Real Madrid. Any other team, there's only one team that desire it more than every other team right now, but I don't think they have the quality of players that can match it up. And that team, obviously, is Paris Saint-Germain. So probably, I don't claim that I understand your question properly, but that's what I think you're asking. Kalija, I want to say, who do you think will be the top scorer in the end of the UCL tournament this season, my brother? That one is a little bit hard, because when you look at the stats, okay, and you kind of like ask yourself, some of the players that have the potential to top score might get knocked out in the group phase, or in the playoff phase, sorry, and then we are starting all over again. So I'm not sure I can sit where I am right now and tell you, oh, this is the person, but I'm going to give it a try. Looking at some of the players that are in the competition, Robert Lewandowski is a player that I'm not going to get off my head. Rafinha also have done well. The thing, why I'm saying this is, okay, currently, top goal scorers in this competition is Robert Lewandowski and Sergio Rossi. Borussia Dortmund, will they get to the finals? I doubt. Barcelona, will they get to the finals? There's a possibility. Will they win it? I don't know. And so when you look at it from that angle, you will say to yourself that Lewandowski, who is one of the world's most underrated striker, doesn't have a PRO team, doesn't have a media team around him, this is also the first time I'm seeing a player play, so I'm scoring quite a ton of goals for FC Barcelona, and Barcelona are not putting PRO around him at all. They're not even bothered. There's no hype around him, because probably they're dealing with a lot of financial problems right now. They can't go and pay journalists and influencers and all those big money. But then I can't pick Haaland, who has 6 goals already in this competition. Harry Kane as well. I think that Bayern will progress in the competition. I also think that Florian Wirtz is not a player that we should take for granted. I don't think that Sporting will progress. So Victor Gyokeres, who's got 6 goals, might just be there. Atletico de Madrid is another team that we should look at for. So players like Julian Alvarez, who they got from Man City, Vinicius Junior, Man City would, my God, wish that they have kept this player and he's scoring all these goals for them. Vinicius Junior has got 7 goals. Rafinha has got 8 goals. So for me, the top goal scorers this competition for the Champions League is between Rafinha, Robert Lewandowski, Rafinha, Vinicius Junior, and maybe Julian Alvarez. Just maybe. Antoine Griezmann can come from behind and score a hat trick and try to upstage everybody. But I will stick with Robert Lewandowski because I think that bad as can be, they will get to the semifinals of the competition. Unless there's a major upset, they will get to the semifinals. So I'm going to stay with them and say they're my best bet for that. Kalija Ibrahim Adewale says, which player has the biggest opportunity to shine this playoff? That Osman Dembele and Farestella, if he's eligible, might just give us something to smile about. I don't think there's any player in Man City that can do anything. Mbappe have not really lit up the competition. He's still settling in, and I agree. I give him one full season. Like I said before, now that when you come from Paris Saint-Germain, who's lower competition, like in the French league, and you're playing for the biggest team, to go and play for Real Madrid with high expectations, demands, and all that, you need a year to acclimatize. So I'm going to give him that 1 year. I'm expecting explosion for Vinicius Junior. I'm expecting that there's so much pressure on him. There's so much need for him to prove that he deserves to win the Ballon d'Or. Unfortunately, if he goes on to win the next Ballon d'Or, he's going to get his season out injured. That's the new one that's happening, and that's the cost of the Ballon d'Or. Anybody who wins it goes out. Since after Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, anybody that wins it goes out 1 season and they go and rest. But we will see. I think that those are the players that just might give us a shine and give us a reason to smile. I mean, Ekene says, Baba, the way you are analyzing Arsenal's chance is like Nigerians calculating how to qualify for the World Cup. We're not going to qualify for the World Cup. Do you think Liverpool will drop all these points and this Arsenal won't drop points? I'm sure you did not follow my analysis. I also showed you where Arsenal will drop point. Possible Arsenal dropping a point. As a matter of fact, Arsenal have more chances of dropping point because with Arsenal, small games they drop points, big games they drop points. So I just said that Arsenal will drop points against Manchester United. They could drop against Chelsea. I also said that the game against Liverpool and the game against Newcastle are not sure for Arsenal. So what does you want me to say? You seen me tell you where they will drop point, but I know that there are guaranteed 3 games where Liverpool will drop point this season. There are guaranteed 3 games. Those games Liverpool will not win. Whether they will lose, I don't know. Aston Villa, Man City, Newcastle, what's the other one? Fulham, Tottenham Hotspur, Chelsea. You see, of these games that I mentioned, there is a possible 9-point drop. And that's the 6 point now till they win tomorrow. That's a gap between them and Arsenal. So it's up to Arsenal to prove their mettle and get there. But talking about Nigeria qualifying for the World Cup, forget about it. And do you love me say, thanks for this clarification for coaching. The best coaches are those that are flexible within their best structure. Okay.